In this video, we are going to discuss everything about PMT formula in Excel. There are four types of PMT formula in Excel: PMT, IPMT, Ppmt, and ISPMT. I am going to explain you the difference between each of the PMT formulas and when to use which PMT formula. Before we get started, I would like to highlight one fact. You must be aware that any repayment schedule of any mortgage can be two types. One, the monthly mortgage repayment amount can be fixed, or the monthly principal repayment amount may be fixed. We are going to discuss both the scenarios over here, and I'm going to explain which formula to use when. So let's get started with it. The first spreadsheet is an example which I've already created for where the monthly mortgage amount is fixed. Now, when the monthly mortgage amount is fixed, there can be two scenarios. One, the monthly mortgage amount can be paid in advance, which is at the beginning of each period, or it can be paid at the end of each period, which is in arrears. The first example I have over here is when the monthly mortgage amount is paid in advance. In both the examples over here, I've kept the loan amount same, interest rate same, and loan duration same, and the repayment schedule I've assumed to be monthly. So let's first compute monthly mortgage amount. Monthly mortgage amount is computed using the formula PMT. So we are going to insert the formula PMT. So there are two ways a formula can be inserted in any cell. One, we can go to formulas. We can go under financial and select PMT. And it will open up a box on the right hand side of the screen. The second way to do is we can just type equals to and PMT. And then automatically it will come as PMT. Either you can click PMT over here, or you can open the bracket which will tell you the fields which you need to fill up. So the first field is rate. Rate over here means interest rate. Now, remember one thing. If the repayment schedule is monthly, that means we will have to divide the rate by 12. If the repayment schedule was quarterly, then we should have divided by 4. Effectively, we are just aligning the yearly interest rate to the repayment schedule, which can either be monthly, quarterly, half yearly, or yearly. The next one is NPR. NPR is basically the number of months in which the payment will be made. Over here we have assumed to be 60, so I'm going to take it as 60 and link it over here. The next one is PV, which means present value. This is where you should remember that when you are selecting the present value, which is the current loan amount, which is $1 million, you have to use it as minus $1 million. If you don't use it as minus, Excel will throw up a negative amount. So there are two choices. One, when you're selecting present value, you can make it as minus present value, or you can select the present value as a positive amount, but once the results are out, you can basically put a bracket and put a minus sign in front of that to make it a positive number. Choice is yours. Future value. Of course, we want the loan amount to be 0, and hence I'm going to put at 0. Now this is where the difference is. As I mentioned earlier, right now we are assuming that monthly mortgage is paid in advance. So I'm going to select 1, which is beginning of the period, and close the bracket. And there you go. I got my monthly mortgage amount. Once I've got the monthly mortgage amount, before I get into the next formula, very quickly let me create amortization schedule. So first I'm going to put the month over here. Then the opening balance of the loan is $1 million. Now, since we are paying in advance, that means there should not be any interest in the first month. The entire monthly mortgage amount should go towards the principal, and hence I'm going to put as the principal and put the interest amount as 0. So that will give me a closing principal amount of this much, which I'm going to link it over here. Now in second month, of course, there will be an interest amount. So I'm going to basically link it over here, put it over here by freeze this data so that I can copy the formula below. And then this will give me the principal amount, which is the monthly mortgage value minus the interest amount. And this will basically help me get to my closing balance. Now, very safely, I can copy this formula till the end. And one way to check whether this is correct or not is the last month value should be 0, and which we are getting over here. Now let's talk about other PMT formulas. First, which we are going to talk about is IPMT. IPMT helps you get the interest amount for a particular month in this amortization schedule. For example, if you want to know what is the interest I'm going to pay in the 12th month of this amortization schedule, then by using that formula, you can easily get that amount. So let's try it out. And this time, what I'm going to do is just to take a different method so that it's helpful for you. I'm going to insert the formula from here. So IPMT, it gives you all of this. Now, advantage of opening this box is it will also explain you each of the things which are mentioned over here so that it becomes easy for you. It also explains the purpose of this formula. So let's get started with populating the formula. So rate is over here. Again, I'm going to divide by 12. Per over here is basically the month for which you want to know the interest. Let's say we want to know the interest for month 12. This basically means the total number of months in the loan duration. Present value again is the current value of the loan. Future value is basically we want it to be 0. And type, as I explained, 0 is basically arrears, 1 is beginning of the period. Right now we are working for beginning of the period, so I'm going to select 1. And then I'm going to do done. Now, for the 12th month, the interest is 2064.09. If we come back to the amortization schedule, as you can see, interest is 2064.09. In a similar fashion, if we want to know the principal amount paid in a particular month, we can use formula called Ppmt. So Ppmt, it asks for rate. Then again, let's say we want to know for month 12. So I'm going to press 12 and 60 months. Then present value is this much. Future value is 0. And we are talking about beginning of the period. And we get to 1589.79, which is month 12. So this is all what you can use when it comes to monthly mortgage, which is paid in advance. Now let's do the similar simulation when the monthly mortgage is paid in arrears. So the first thing is we are going to compute the monthly mortgage amount. So PMT. And this time I'm going to select 0 because it is paid at the end of the period. And there you go, I get a monthly mortgage amount which is paid in arrears. As you can see, there is a difference in the amount. Now let me quickly get to monthly amortization schedule. Now over here there will be a difference because since the mortgage amount is paid in arrears, we will end up paying interest in month 1 itself. So we'll have to compute interest in month 1. So the principal amount will be this minus this. Closing balance will be this. Now this closing balance will become opening balance. And if we compute the same formula over here, we'll get to the amount. And now it's a question of just copying. The check is the last amount is 0. Now we are going to do the same thing. Let us say you want to know interest to be paid in month 12. So I'm going to do IPMT. Rate is this. It's 12, 60. Present value is this. Future value is this. And the end of the period, we'll have to consider that. So the amount is 2069.25. If you come here, you will find 2069. If I expand this for your benefit, you will see 0.25. Same way, if you want to know the principal amount, let's do that. and in month 12, 1589.44. Now the only formula which is left is ISPMT. That is used to compute the interest amount for a particular period when the principal repayment amount is fixed. I've created an example in the next sheet. Let's say the loan amount is $4,000, loan duration is 4 months, interest rate is 3%, and repayment schedule is monthly. So in 4 months, we are going to pay $1,000 every month. That's how our opening balance is going to change. This is the interest which we are going to pay every month. So I'm going to just put the period 0, 1, 2, 3. Now month 1 will become month 0 when we are going to use the formula ISPMT, and I'm going to show you how. So ISPMT, again open the bracket, so it asks for the interest rate. I'm going to just freeze this. This interest rate is a monthly interest rate, and hence I'm not going to divide it by 12. Then let's say I want to know for this period, which is 0, what is the total duration, which is 4, and what is the present value is 4,000. There you go, 120. So I need to just freeze few things over here. And now I can copy the formula over here. And as you can see, it will throw up the interest rate exactly same as over here. So this is all what I had in this particular video. I hope it was value to you by explaining the difference between all the PMT formulas. If you have enjoyed this video, do drop a like, subscribe to my channel and click on the notification button so that whenever I upload new videos, you are able to get the notification. Also visit my website www.starperformers.net for more such videos, training courses and consulting services. I'm sure our path will cross again.